The serial, often known as The Dead Planet, which introduces the Daleks, is a post-nuclear dystopian nightmare reflecting the fears of the early to mid-60s. Two races have mutated over the centuries since the bombs were dropped. The Thals are more or less human and want nothing but peace and food. Daleks are hideous life forms who are trapped both in their travel machines and in their city. The planet, Skaro, could get a second chance, but while the Thals want to share the world, the Daleks have other ideas.
Daleks have become so iconic in the past 50 years, it is almost impossible to imagine witnessing their first appearance at the time. And given the more slow-paced nature of these early episodes, you're a 25-minute installment in before you see so much as a plunger. A landmark, legendary cliffhanger. It is sometimes hard to look past how obvious it is. There are only 4 actual Dalek props and then a load of cardboard cutouts, and that the set for their city relies a lot on false perspective, but in this era, and this is part of the genius, you still believe the world you are seeing, you still feel the horror of a post-nuclear society, and you care what's going on. One can also not help but envy the audience of the time, that Christmas back in 1963, following each electrifying episode across 7 weeks. For anyone only just discovering the classic Who, it is a very surprising piece. These Daleks are, as far as we know, not genetically engineered with all positive emotions purposely removed. It's more a parable about what suspicion, paranoia, and selfishness can do to you. They move only on metal, needing the static electricity from their city to move. They have grown dependent on radiation to survive, but can live independently of their machines for a limited time. What is their battle cry? Fire. The story has 3 phases. The murky, mysterious horror phase, the action and adventure of travelling across rivers, up mountains, and through tunnels to take the city before the Daleks nuke the planet again, and, of course, a battle which, although a little underwhelming due to the budget of the time, still leaves the audience satisfied. Many fans will tell you it was the serial which cemented the show's success, and they are most likely correct. The writer behind the Daleks, Terry Nation, would go on to write for Doctor Who again, including mini Dalek stories, and would also create the shows Blake 7 and The Survivors. The designer of the original Daleks, Raymond Cusack, deserves at least an equal credit for an amazing design. A Dalek is blank, yet expressive, like an animal, yet like a machine. Inhuman, and yet somehow sympathetic. Before my niece had even seen Doctor Who back when she was about 4, I showed her a photo of a Dalek. She did not say, "What is that?" She asked, "Who is that?" Even without movement and at first glance, a Dalek appears to our instincts as a living, thinking being. That is what makes a Dalek.